What if I told you that your personality would be broken down into only 6 different needs? Your personality only needs 6 different things, or at least 2 out of those 6, but you may not have any idea which of those 6 or which of those 2 you're actually feeding on a day-to-day. So this episode is all about your 6 human personality needs. Welcome back to the Gen Ed Show. This is a place where we teach you how to trust yourself and succeed in the modern age. My name is Eduardo de las Cuevas, your host. I'm a college dropout turned serial entrepreneur operating multiple 6- and 7-figure businesses. And so in this, I aim to help you hopefully learn some of the things that you may not even know that you don't even know. So welcome back to your new Gen Ed class. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the 6 core human personality needs and what are these 6 core human personality needs. Which ones are you feeding on a day-to-day basis? What is the relevance to all of these? Which are the ones that you should be feeding? And how do we break these down to understand why it is that you are the way that you are? So with it, let's dive in. So there are 6. The first one is certainty. Certainty sounds and is exactly as it sounds and is. Certainty being, I know for a fact that this will happen, or at least it's the belief that you know that this is definitely going to happen. So for example, a lot of people, especially when it comes in the normal mainstream way of life, being an employee, having a salary, getting a paycheck, a lot of people tend to rely on that as a belief that that is certain. And sure, I guess it is certain, assuming that the company doesn't go out of business or there isn't a global pandemic that makes them furlough you. So certainty, though, is a genuine reason for a lot of people. Hey, I'm going to go into this industry. I'm going to go into this job. I'm going to operate this way with my family because I know for a fact this, right? Certainty is number 1. Number 2 is uncertainty. Right? Or variety. And so these are going to be a lot more times the people who don't like the normal day-to-day routine, be like everyone else, normal society type of person. You know, this might be someone that is typically a little bit more creative, artistic, or just simply likes to go against the grain. Maybe they're a little bit less into the whole authority aspect. But so a nice other alternative to uncertainty can simply just be variety. Because for myself, this personality need is one of my biggest ones, is variety. I am someone that craves variety. I like when things aren't necessarily uncertain, because I will do my best to plan and create as much general certainty as I can. But I love being challenged. I like when things have variety to them and keep me on my toes, so that this way I continue to do whatever I want to do, but I do it in a way that helps me feel very fulfilled because it keeps a lot of variety. Hence the Gen Ed Show, hence Caveman Trucking, hence Caveman Studios. So with that, the second one is uncertainty or variety. The third one is significance. Now, I'll be very transparent. I have lived with this as a unintentional thing that I was constantly feeding. And now in hindsight, I realized that I was feeding my significance need way more than I should have. And in fact, was pretty much running my entire personality through the basis of significance. Through trying to feel important. I was definitely an achiever. I mean, I still am an achiever. I'm not saying like I'm not an achiever or not a try-hard or an overachiever in many ways. Fuck yeah, I am. But with it, what I'm saying is that now I try not to lead my life through the specific desire for significance, but that is a genuine thing. Because if you were to refer to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, having that significance within a peer group or in a community is genuinely very important for a lot of people. And so the question is that important for you? There's nothing wrong with that. It is simply an observation. Is significance, being significant, living a life of significance, critical for you? And that'd be the third core personality need. And then the fourth one is going to be love or contribution. So it is exactly as it sounds. That feeling of love, either with a partner, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, or with a boss, an employee, a relationship with a coworker. And love does not have to be sexual. Love can be platonic, which is why it's either love or connection, right? Feeling connected to a community, feeling connected to a group, feeling connected to a company, feeling connected to a family, right? What do we feel connected to? Where is that connection? Where is that love? And so these first four, certainty, uncertainty / variety, significance, and then love / connection, these four are our like core personality traits out of the six. Not traits, personality needs out of these six, right? So these four are the four bases, like survival-esque type of core personality needs. The other two are spiritual needs, and I'm going to get to them in a moment. But so looking at these first four, what I encourage you to do with your notes, if you're taking notes, is looking at these four. Which ones are you constantly feeding? Do you feel like you are constantly leading your life, and with that identity that you carry, your personality, are you living and acting as a human who desires and needs certainty, that needs variety, that needs significance, that needs love and contribution or connection? You know, are you feeding two out of those four? You know, which are your like number one or two, like that you are constantly, and you'll, as I'm saying this, should probably already know, shit, yeah, I'm like definitely doing everything based on how much certainty I have. Or yeah, I am definitely making my decisions based on how much significance I get to feel in this position. You know, whatever the case scenario may be for you. Because then the last two, your spiritual personality needs, the fifth one is growth. Right? This is the feeling of growth, the feeling of leveling up, the feeling of continuous learning, right? The feeling like there is progress here, advancement in some way. And then the sixth would be contribution. And if you noticed already, I kind of keep accidentally mixing up connection and contribution. But so contribution is a little bit different from connection, because connection, you feel connected to a group of people or a person, whereas contribution is where you get to be more philanthropic in a sense. And this doesn't mean that you, in order to satisfy contribution, are donating $1 million to a charity, although if you can, heck yeah. What that really means is, do you drive or derive a lot of fulfillment when you are contributing to another person, another group, another community, or nonprofit, or whatever the case scenario may be, right? That could also show up in the case scenario like Tom's, the shoes. You know, contribution can show up in your business where, for example, they would, hey, if you buy one pair, we'll send another pair to children out in Africa or wherever it was that they sent it. You know, so that can be a way of contribution for you to add it in for yourself, and then add it in into your business to continue to impact, because that can create a lot of fulfillment for you. You know, this ends up being a lot of the reason why we may often see a lot of very socially ethical type of companies, where typically it's a human, a person, who drives or derives a lot of fulfillment from a level of contribution, and then they are using their business as a vehicle to then scale their level of contribution, aside from just the money that they earn from their business. And so with this, what I encourage you to do is, where are you currently out of those six? What are the two that you are constantly feeding? Okay, when you look at your actions, when you look at your habits, when you look at your beliefs, and you look at the relationships that you foster and the type of work that you do you operate from a place of, let's say, just variety and love, and that's your main focus, and that's all you're doing for fulfillment, or the ones that you derive most fulfillment from. But is that where you want to derive fulfillment from? Right? Because where you are currently deriving your fulfillment from and where you actually want to be are two likely very different places. Because I know for myself, I was originally trying, using the word trying on purpose, trying to derive fulfillment through certainty and significance. And lo and behold, I ended up feeling very burnt out and very bothered and very like frustrated most often. And that's what ended up leading to me like not continuing to do some of the things I was doing before when I learned about these things, because I realized what would definitely make me feel most fulfilled was not leading my life through satisfying certainty and significance. I realized for me, the most fulfilling way to lead my life would be to rearrange that and drive it from a place of variety and growth. Because I know that for me, at least, if I am constantly growing and I am constantly being challenged through different various things, that feels like I would be very fulfilled. Because, and I hope to impart this to you, I trust myself inexplicably to be successful no matter what happens to me. So certainty is basically baked in the cake. I don't even need to worry about that. That was when I used to only do one thing. And I was like, why would I only do that? Let me chase some variety here. And then with that, I realized like, I guess maybe I'm just blessed and I already feel very loved and have so many people in my corner that I don't really think about it too much. So maybe that would have been different, but I don't feel like I need to. And then contribution, I still, of course, try to contribute. But again, I'm going back to like, what are my true fulfillment needs, my personality needs? And my personality really needs variety and it really needs growth. And it has those two things. I'm a happy camper all dang day long. So I want you to go through this list. Number 1, certainty. Number 2, uncertainty / variety. Number 3, significance. Number 4, love / connection. Number 5, growth. Number 6, contribution. Which are the 2 that you are currently feeding constantly, and which are the 2 that you know that you should be, and if you did, would lead to a lot more fulfillment in your day-to-day life? You come to terms with those 2, life's going to get a lot easier. It's going to be a lot easier to make decisions and say yes to things or no to different things. So I hope this episode has been tremendously impactful and at least giving you some more perspective in how you may be leading your life and what personality needs you are convincing yourself of that you need to fulfill and what you actually need to fulfill so that you can truly feel fulfilled. So thank you for tuning in. If you loved this episode, if it brought you value, please make sure to go ahead and share this show with all of your friends, family, loved ones onto your different social medias, on Instagram, on TikTok, anywhere else that you may be. And so that this way others can continue to learn and grow, and so that we can continue to spread this podcast, spread this show, spread this impact, share the love with everyone else so that we can continue to improve our society and our community. And I'll leave you as I leave you always, to make sure, be present, love deeply, and aim higher. This is the Gen Ed Show.